Have you seen what Caitlin Clark just achieved for her birthday? She did more than just practice her threes. She changed the rules of what was possible. 50 of 54 three-pointers. That is not a typo. 93% accuracy from beyond the arc. You could say, it's just practice. But this is when things get really fascinating. Clark is not a one-hit wonder. She is coming off a rookie season in which she averaged 19 points and 9 assists, and she is ready to take the WNBA by storm. Stay tuned because we're about to break down why this could be the best point guard season we've ever seen. Regardless, Caitlin Clark will be better than last year. Touch wood, barring injury. We could be witnessing, not certainly, but likely, the best season for a point guard in WNBA history. Remember how everyone doubted Caitlin Clark last season? You are not going to believe what occurred next. Let's go back to Clark's inaugural season in the WNBA. The expectations were sky high, the pressure was immense, and things did not go quite as expected. This is when things become really fascinating. Clark's shooting percentages did not match our expectations for the sniper we knew in college. One facet of Clark's game that I wouldn't call awful was her three-point percentage, which was lower than it was the previous year at Iowa. A lot of that is due to adjusting to WNBA defenses. This is the same player that drained three-pointers like they were layups in Iowa. You could wonder, is this the end of Clark's sharpshooting reputation? Not so fast. Clark's debut season was somewhat of a roller coaster. In her first 10 games, she struggled to find her rhythm. Her assist-to-turnover ratio was roughly 1, although her shooting percentages fluctuated, occasionally dropping below 30%. Fans who were aware of her abilities found it difficult to watch. We all forget about Caitlin Clark's numbers from last season. She did not have the best first 10 games. She wasn't terrible in those games, but she had an almost 1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and her percentages were unpredictable. But here's the thing about Caitlin Clark. She refuses to back down from a challenge. Despite a difficult start, she still averaged 19 points and nearly 9 assists per game. That's quite impressive for a newcomer, right? But Clark was dissatisfied. She knew she could improve. Now, fast forward to her most recent practice session. You'll want to sit down for this. Clark made 50 out of 54 threes. That is not a typo, guys. We're talking about a staggering 93% accuracy. Can you imagine making 50 of 54 threes? That's more than good. It's incredible. Caitlin Clark's shooting ability is ridiculously impressive. To be honest, other WNBA players could definitely produce similar numbers in a workout, but 50 out of 54? That is a serious amount. It's unclear how long it would take any shooter to do this, but the fact that Clark has done so demonstrates something amazing. So you're undoubtedly wondering how she made such a significant improvement. Let us break it down. Clark has been working her tail off. That's how. Her development coach spilled the beans about what's been happening behind the scenes. They have been working on adjusting her tempo and strengthening her shooting technique. It's all about honing that already exceptional talent. Get this, Clark's shooting coach isn't just striving for excellence, they're aiming for greatness. During her practice sessions, they aim for an average of 80% from beyond the arc. That's a significant increase from her rookie season figures. Clark appears to have taken those problems personally and resolved to use them as fuel for her personal growth. On her birthday, she goes in and shoots 93% from 3 during a workout. It's completely insane. You may be thinking, okay, Clark's crushing it in practice, but can she bring that fire to the court when it really counts? So, let's look at why her astounding 93% accuracy in practice is more than simply impressive. It's a portent of something far bigger to come. First and foremost, we must discuss what it takes to be an outstanding shooter in basketball. Most pros would be thrilled to hit 80% of their shots in practice. What about Clark? She just blew it off like it was nothing. We're not simply talking about having a fantastic day at the gym. This is next-level stuff. One thing to note is that she's working on her corner threes. Surprisingly, the court she practiced on as a child had no corners. That could explain why corner threes weren't as prevalent in her game previously. So what really happens when Clark drains those threes? It's all about muscle memory, concentration, and consistency. But this is when things become very interesting. Clark isn't simply practicing. She is basically reprogramming her brain to achieve basketball brilliance. Every shot she takes serves as a small education for her muscles and mind. When you do something repeatedly, your body learns to remember it. You might be wondering if this genuinely helps in real games. Experts believe Clark's ability to shoot at such a high percentage in practice will convert to greater performance in games. It's not just about shooting in an empty gym, it's about developing muscle memory so powerful that her body knows exactly what to do under pressure. Let's be honest for a second. We all know that practice is one thing, but game day is a completely different beast. But can Clark bring this incredible accuracy to the court when it counts the most? That is where things become even more intriguing. It's not just how many shots she takes in practice, it's how she does them. Clark's shooting technique is like watching a machine. She always uses the same move for each shot. That's critical for creating muscle memory and staying calm when the game is on the line. Her technique is consistent, sharp, and developed. So, what does all of this mean for Clark in the future? If she can maintain this level of preparation and translate it to game day, she might be one of the most dangerous shooters in the WNBA's history. We are talking about a player who has the potential to radically revolutionize how teams defend against her. Imagine guarding someone who can shoot threes from almost anywhere on the court. It's a defenseman's greatest nightmare. You may be wondering, okay, Clark's got a killer shot, but what about the rest of her game? Let me ask you this. What if her shooting isn't the scariest aspect of her skill set? There is a reason why coaches refer to her as a full-floor general. Clark did more than simply light up the scoreboard in her debut season. She was giving out assists like they were going out of style. As a rookie, you can expect to average 19 points and 9 assists a game. Can you get your brain around that? Most players take years to reach those figures, but Clark does it right away. Now fast forward, Clark is working on projects other than her shooting. Coaches are stressing finer ball control and better court vision. If she can build on the excellent foundation of her rookie season, Clark's trajectory might propel her directly into MVP conversations. And that's only the beginning. This is a player that is revolutionizing not only her own game, but the entire game of basketball. Consider this, a sophomore player averaging 22 points and 10 assists while increasing her three-point shooting percentage above 40%. These are stats that have the potential to shatter league records and redefine what it means to be an elite point guard. So, what comes next for Clark? If her recent performances and practice sessions are any indication, the sky is the limit. It's not just about creating history, she's establishing herself as one of the all-time greats. Caitlin Clark is more than just a rising star, she is a game changer. And believe me, you don't want to blink since this voyage is only just beginning. Caitlin Clark's passion does not end at the gym. Off the court, she's been reviewing film, evaluating defensive systems, and figuring out how to pick apart opposition teams with pinpoint accuracy. This type of preparedness does not happen overnight. It is the consequence of tireless effort and a dedication to perfection that few can match. Clark's sophomore season approaches, and the buzz around her is electrifying. Fans, experts, and even her competitors are keeping a careful eye on her, knowing she's not just striving for excellence, but redefining it. If her debut season was any indication of her talent, what comes next might revolutionize the WNBA forever. Caitlin Clark is primed to provide a season to remember thanks to her unrivaled talent, unwavering drive, and the support of her teammates.